Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the most consistent YouTube channel on the whole platform. Today I'm here in my car. Finn, why are you in your car, I hear you say? The only answer I've got really is because the lighting was better. That's just about it really. It's quite loud actually. Don't know if you can hear it, but there's cars and stuff going past. I'm not driving obviously. Anyway, why are we here today? Well, we are here today to talk about this man, Maciej, aka Maciej, aka the Poodle, aka the man that's getting knocked out by Finn McGwyre on March 24th. That's right, this Sunday, March 24th, I'm going to be fighting at the 𝗺𝘃𝗃 in London on DKM's All or Nothing event. And I tell you what, you are not going to want to miss this event. We've got a stacked card with influencer Jack Jones headlining. But more importantly, me and the Poodle are finally getting the opportunity to fight after all this time. If you remember, all the way back in November we were meant to fight each other, but unfortunately that fight got cancelled. So I thought, oh, we're never going to get the opportunity to fight anymore. He's going to run away, he's not going to want to fight, you know, he's found his way out. Little did I know he would come crawling straight back. That's right, he got out of it the first time, but he's come back again. I'm not sure why really, it was an easy escape, but he's come straight back. This time I've had more time to train, and I want it even more. So I don't understand why he's come back, but clearly he wants it. But today I am going to be exposing this man. All the stuff he's doing behind the scenes, all the stuff he's saying, I'm going to be debunking all of it. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you get your tickets to the event. Like I've said, March 24th, I will leave the links in the description below. And if you can't make it to the 𝗺𝘃𝗃, that's completely fine, because it's also going to be live on pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is only £4.99 if you buy it before fight night. That's right, up until Sunday, the pay-per-view is only £4.99. But even if you wait until Sunday, it's only £8 for the pay-per-view. You get a whole stacked card of 20 plus fights for only £5 to £8. If that's not a good deal, then tell me what is. Before we carry on with this video, I just wanted to thank the sponsor of my fight kit for fight night, MaXILLA. Now MaXILLA mouthguards create the best custom mouthguards in the game, custom molded to your mouth and with whatever design you want on the front of it. This is by far the comfiest mouthguard I have ever worn. It stays in completely fine without having to worry about it, and it doesn't rub, it doesn't hurt, it just stays in there. It doesn't even feel like you've got a mouthguard in at times, but it still protects you more than any other mouthguard will do. It is really important to keep your mouth as protected as possible, especially when it comes to combat sport. And that's why it's really important that you have such a strong protective mouthguard which is custom fitted to your mouth. I've used this mouthguard throughout training for my fight, and I genuinely have not ever put on a comfier mouthguard before. I will also be using it on fight night itself to protect me against the very little shots that Maciej is going to land. So if you want your very own MaXILLA mouthguard, make sure to head to the website, and I'll leave all their links in the description below as well. Thank you once again MaXILLA mouthguards for sponsoring my fight kit for fight night. But anyway, let's get into this properly. So if you have been keeping up with DKM or keeping up with my socials, you'll know that a month or so back, on February 9th, DKM had another event, this time at the Indigo at the O2 in London. And me and Maciej were lucky enough to have a face-off in the ring just before the main event. Now, you may have seen what happened, but if you hadn't, I will put it on the screen right now. We were talking to each other, we were having a little face-off, you know, saying what we needed to each other to get into each other's heads a month or so ahead of the fight. And what does he do? He makes an absolute mockery of the whole thing. This is boxing, a sport that deserves respect. And what does he do? He goes and slaps me. But not only does he go and slap me, he then goes in for the takedown as well. So in this situation, I'm like, oh, okay, great, what's going on here? He pat my face, and now he's going to grab my leg. So obviously I was like, well, I'm not gonna let him take me down, but also I've got to defend myself as well. So I noticed his head was right here in a very convenient place. So I was just able to get around his head, get him in a cheeky little headlock, and just calm him down a little bit, because that's all he needed. I mean, I was trying to get my leg behind his as well to trip him up. It didn't work, but still, nonetheless, how are you going to have an open shot at someone's face and still come out looking the worst in that situation? How has he ended up the one in the headlock? It's just a bit embarrassing, isn't it, really, when you think about it? He had a completely free, cheap shot and ended up in a headlock. And that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is Maciej filmed his whole day leading up to this. He did a little video, he did a little vlog, and this is what he said in his video.
A little secret for you guys. I'm jumping him, I'm pressuring, I'm jumping him, but there better be security in that ring. If there's no security, he's done, bro. He won't even make it tomorrow.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No, 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 no. Look at the top of his head.
That's right, he said that I better hope that there's security there to keep him off of me. When, in reality, who was the one having to be pulled off who in the end? Because from what I remember, it wasn't you being pulled off of me, it was the other way around. Because you got a little bit too angry, a little bit too emotional, and ended up in a headlock. So clearly next time, the Italian striker just needs to keep his little poodle on a leash, okay? Now after this face-off, me and Maciej both care a lot more about this fight than we did do before. So we get into training, he goes into training, I go into training, and this is where it just gets a little bit more embarrassing for Maciej. So a couple of months ago now, I was at the West London Boxing Academy helping film some stuff for DKM's Married at First Fight event, the event I was speaking about before, the one that happened at the O2. So I was at the West London Boxing Academy helping them film some stuff for that with Nathan and Jordan, and after we were done with that filming, we decided, you know what, let's get a little bit of sparring in. So there was a guy down at the gym that I sparred, and it was a good little spar. It was the first spar I had at that camp, and it was very challenging. It's a well-known thing in boxing that if you've sparred someone and you respect each other, that you don't go around talking about it afterwards, unless you've agreed to do so otherwise. But somehow Maciej found out that I sparred this guy. He found him on Instagram, and he has been non-stop messaging him in the DMs, asking how the spar went.
Oh, tell me how the spar went. How was Finn in the spar? Do you think he can beat me? Oh, please tell me more info about him. Please tell me if he's good or not.
Have you ever heard anything in your life scream insecure about a fight so badly that he's had a spam message, a sparring partner of mine, begging for information upon me? It's just crazy when you think about it. I've never heard of something so insecure in my life. But clearly he's nervous, and that's okay. That's okay. But not only that, if you know anything about me or my training at all, then you'll know that I do a little bit of training with this guy called Jays. Jays fought on DKM's last event at the O2, and me and him are quite close. We've trained together for a while, and we've known each other for a couple of years. However, unlike my first fight, Jays isn't the person that's been my main coach, I guess you could say, for this fight. I've been training and being coached by a guy called Felix. I've had a little bit of sparring with Jays. He's been helping me out a little bit here and there, but in no way, shape or form has he been my main trainer going into this fight. However though, that does not stop Maciej from stalking him. Non-stop looking at his story, trying to look for little clips of me on his Instagram, and guess what? They're nowhere to be seen. But Maciej doesn't even follow Jays on Instagram. So why does he make sense that he's constantly looking at his story? Because he's insecure and he's looking for training clips of me, because he's scared going into this fight and he knows he's going to lose. So he's trying to find every little bit of video footage he can to try and find some information. So he's been spamming my sparring partners and he's been looking at people's socials that I train with. Hello, it's me here. This is Editing Finn. And whilst editing the video, I've just remembered that I've missed out a whole section that I forgot to include earlier. But it's all about how Maciej has been sparring people that have never put boxing gloves on in their entire lives. But not only that, he was getting pieced up by him as well. Getting hit by punches that he shouldn't be getting hit by any sparring partner, let alone someone that's never even boxed before. But to make matters even worse, in order to finish the fight, he has to go and land a massive shot to the back of the other guy's head. I mean, this guy is calling himself a boxer, saying he's taking it seriously, and then sparring people that have never even boxed before and going on to landing shots to the back of the head. If you ask me, it's just not a very good thing to do, really, but I'll let the clip speak for itself.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, you got to keep those guards up, keep them guards up. Break. Go. Right, back of the head.
If we've learned anything so far, we've learned that Maciej, the little poodle, is massively insecure. Last but not least, let's talk about the press conference. So I had a great time at the press conference. I was up there on the stage having the time of my life, spilling my drink over myself. I was just having fun. Meanwhile, Maciej was a nervous wreck, bless him. He had a little custom t-shirt made up with my face on it and his face. So I'm glad he's paid money to get my face printed on a t-shirt. Screams that he's a bit of a fan to me, if I'm honest, but you know what, whatever floats your boat. If you want to pay to get my face printed on a t-shirt, go for it. It's just going to be even more embarrassing when you lose and have to go home and look at it. But as I was saying, he was a nervous wreck. He was up there on the stage stuttering like no one's business. When he got asked a question, he didn't have any idea what to say.
He didn't win his first one. He says the guy was bigger than him, heavier than him, more experienced than him. He's now got one bout under his belt. He's got that ring experience. He knows what it's like to get in there and be hit. Because until you get hit, believe me, in the pads and on the pads or working with sparring, once someone comes at you with aggression, it is different. Are you prepared? Are you mentally ready for that?
I guess we find out the ring.
Okay.
Good answer, mate. Really
Is
good
there
answer.
anything you want to add?
Yeah, like, you can get destroyed, man. You can get destroyed.
It's crazy that he goes around acting like he's some kind of bad man, and then when it comes down to it, when he's really put on the spot, he's got absolutely nothing to say at all. And just like I said in the press conference, it all makes so much sense now why he slapped me in our little face-off, because he had absolutely nothing to say at all. And the craziest part about all of this is that then a couple of days after the press conference, he goes on Twitter to say that he's carrying the promo for the fight. But then we look at the press conference and see that when he gets asked a question, he just sits there in a puddle of his own sweat, not really sure what to say, looking literally like a bit of a lost poodle. And that's not even me trying to make a joke. He just does look like a lost little puppy up there, not in his element, not comfortable, and once again, insecure. I can't lie, I just thought someone was being murdered or something behind me. It just turns out there's people pushing each other around in a trolley. I thought something awful was going on, but we'll let him be. But anyway, Maciej, my friend, I hope you realise what you've gotten yourself into. This is a boxing match. When we're in that ring, nothing is going to stop me. I've had harder spars than this fight is going to be. My first fight, which I unfortunately lost, was harder than this fight is going to be. And that was against someone that's taller, got a longer reach, heavier, it's got more experience. And now I'm fighting you, who's shorter than me, who's got less experience than me, and who is just insecure and is going to let the pressure get to him. So please, this is my last plea to you. Please don't pull out. Please actually turn up, because I'm still not 100% convinced you're going to after all those fights you've dropped out of against 厚𝗀𝘂𝗧. But just remember, it's been well over a year now since my last fight. I have been training so much and I'm so much better than I was back then. So be prepared to get knocked out, okay? It's night time, my friend, and it's not going to be fun for you. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed me exposing the little poodle for who he really is and who he really has been the whole time. If you did enjoy the video, please subscribe and leave a like. And once again, March 24th, make sure to get your tickets or to buy the pay-per-view now. The pay-per-view is only $4.99 at the moment. And if you are wanting to get a ticket to come and see it in person, make sure you click the link and then select my name, because that really helps out a lot as well if they know you're coming from my video. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one.